And now you have target encoding. Another name for that is mean encoding. In this technique, you encode categorical variables by replacing with a numerical value based on the target variable. This is key, target variable. Typically, we use the mean of the target variable for each category. So let's understand this through an example. Suppose you're predicting the churn rate. This is the one. So this is your target right here. And you're predicting the churn rate of this data right here. In this case, you can see city is all categorical. There are three categories: New York, Delhi, and Chicago. So first, let's focus on New York. You calculate the mean of New York. Well, you take 1 and 0, you add them together, and the answer would be 1, and you divide by 2 because there are two New York. So the answer is 0.5. So the mean for New York is 0.5. So the New York will turn into 0.5 and 0.5. Now let's come to Delhi. In Delhi, you have targets 0, 1, 1. So you add 0 and 1, 1 together, and you divide by 3 because there is 3 counts of Delhi. So in this case, 0, 1, 1, add them all together, divide by 3, and the answer is 0.6667. So this is how you get Delhi over here as 0.667. Now let's come to Chicago. You take the target, in this case it's 0, and how many count is this? This is 1, so 0 divided by 1 is 0. So Chicago becomes 0. So this is how you're able to encode using target encoding. Now, one of the risks of target encoding is data leakage. If you compute target encoding using the entire data set, then the information from your test set is going to leak into your training. So the solution is use the mean of the training data. In other words, this whole data right here, this would refer to your training data. So when you're calculating the mean of New York, Delhi, and Chicago, you would use the mean of the training data. You can implement target encoding in Python very easy. So suppose this is my data frame right here, and I print my data frame, and you can see the city, age, target. This is what my target is going to be right here. And in this instance, my city has three categories: New York, Delhi, and Chicago. So the first thing you do, you compute the mean of target for each city. So I'm using group by clause over here. So I'm grouping by city, and I'm calculating the mean of the target. So, and I'm converting it into dictionary. So this way I can see the mean for each one of them in a dictionary format. So Chicago mean is 0.0, Delhi mean is this, and New York mean is this. And then you apply target encoding. So in this instance right here, I'm taking the city and I'm applying this map function, and what this is going to do is going to take each one of these character, each one of these strings like New York, New York, is going to convert that into 0.5. And after it does that, I create another column. So all the values are put inside this column, and then I print my df, and there you go. It prints out your city target encoded. So when should you use target encoding? Well, when your categorical variable that has a high cardinality. In other words, you have many unique categories. It's also common to use when you're using tree-based models. And then you have frequency encoding. The idea is very simple in here. Use the frequency of each category as its value. So for example, let's say this is your data right here. You have city, age, churn. And in this case, you count the frequency of each category, each value. So in this case, Miami, the frequency of Miami is 2. So the Miami would get encoded to 2, 2, 2. Then you look at Delhi. You calculate the frequency of Delhi. There's only 3 Delhis over here. So frequency is 3. So in this case, Delhi will get encoded to 3 right here. And then you calculate the frequency of Chicago. There's only one Chicago, and Chicago will get encoded to 1. So in other words, you replace the city with its frequency. And this can be implemented in Python very easy. So suppose you have a data right here. This is my data, and I print my data. So in this case, city, age, target, and these are my cities right here. So this is Miami, this is Delhi, and this is Moscow. So the first thing you do, you calculate the frequency of each city. So in data frame, I'm using this value counts, and then I'm converting the answer to the dictionary, and then I'm printing the frequency encoding. And you can see that Delhi has a frequency 3, Miami has 2, and Moscow has 1. And after this, you apply your frequency encoding. So in this case, I'm using map, and I'm supplying this frequency encoding dictionary. And according to this dictionary, Delhi will get mapped to 3, Miami will get mapped to 2, and Moscow will get mapped to 2. sorry, to 1. And this way, I'll get a new column. And the name of the new column is city frequency encoded. And I print my data frame, and you can see that now. So right here, this particular column has been encoded to this one.